Alright, in this video, we're going to be doing a tutorial on how to make this graphic style. It's called the panel or gallery style. It's definitely the most complicated one on Real and the most time consuming one. So yeah, but before we get into that, I want to shout out Geo. He's actually sponsoring this video basically by paying me 1,000 racks. So yeah, send him some racks, just like 50 racks, because he's basically paying 1,000 of his own racks for everyone to get this video. Also, I want to shout out my graphics group. Almost 600 people in here doing graphics all day. You can see some really cool graphics in here. Anyone can do graphics. Anyone can talk in here. It's all chill. And yeah, almost 600 people, so really close. And then other group I'll shout out is the graphics guide group. This is the most helpful graphics group for like learning how to do graphics on Real. Me and a few other creators like Boomer, Cardi, Kittle, all helpful in here. So yeah, let's get into the video. Okay, so the first step that I always start with is finding that center picture in the graphic. And to do that, I usually go to Pinterest. I always start off with Pinterest. It's definitely the best place to get pictures for me at least. And we're going to be doing Justin Herbert for this tutorial. So you're just going to search him up, right? And you're going to look for a picture of him in full length. So from the head to the toes, right? You're just going to find something that you like that really stands out to you. It can be either from the front or in the back like this. I like this one a lot. But see, I didn't find a picture that I liked here. You can always go to Google and search them up as well as Insta. Just search up the same player, go to images, right? And then you can also search up more keywords. Like for quarterback, you could do throwing motion or in the pocket. You can always put celebration for like other people as well. And that always looks good. You just want to find something that really just stands out to you. So after you find the picture, you're going to go to photo room, and then this is another app you're going to need. It's probably really helpful. You need it for like most graphics. You're going to click start from photo. You're going to click on the photo you just downloaded, right? It's going to remove the background automatically. It's almost always perfect. It rarely ever messes up unless it's just a bad picture, right? You're going to click on that transparent. You're going to go to backgrounds, color, and then it's going to make it white. And so this is like already a review on one of my other tutorials. I'm making like the 3D graphic. So I'm going to go through this pretty fast because I already did a tutorial on it. But you're going to click on shadow, custom, 2D, and you're going to bring that 2D shadow like directly underneath the player. And you're going to go to 3D, bring that all the way down, and then you're going to go to shortness, take that 0 and bring it, like the 100, and bring it all the way down to 0. You're going to go to radius and bring the radius down to 2, 3-ish, around there, low number. You're going to go back into 2D, and you're going to adjust the shadow because it probably won't be in the right spot. And you can bring that 3D shadow and move it over to the left or the right or direct in the middle. Usually, most graphics, for the most pictures, the shadow looks best within the middle, but it really depends on how the player is posing, where the looks most natural. But most often it's directly in the middle, but not for this one. Anyway, so you're gonna click done, and then you're gonna go back to backgrounds and click erase. This will remove the background. And you just want to export that. After you're done with this, we're gonna be opening PixArt. Do go to here. Go crap. Don't save. Anyway, you're just gonna click on the background you want, and you're gonna add the image into here, and you want to put it in the middle. That purple line should pop up. The both purple lines will show you like where the center is and where the middle is. Try to make them as big as possible without going out of the limit. Actually, since most of you guys probably don't have this circle limit on the outside, like the that shows you like what's in the graphic zone, this circle thing, I'm gonna do a quick tutorial on that. So if you don't want to see that, you can skip forward like a few minutes, but it's really not that hard. You're just gonna go into my groups, New Era Graphics. You're gonna search that up, join it, go to the pinned comment, go to tips for all, and then right here, this one, the second one down, it says card background templates for that. You can click on the first link. It's going to bring you to this app made by Justin. Shout out Justin, really. We don't know what we would do without him. And then just find the background you want. Some of them already have the limit, but some of them don't. You're just going to click on that card, hold down on the image. You're going to do save to photos. And then for the second link, this is the one that I posted, and you're going to click that second link. This is going to bring you directly to the image of the graph, the circle limit. Hold down that on that as well. Save to photos. And then you're going to go into PicsArt, and then you can start it back up by just clicking on that background and then going to add photo and then choose that limit. And then you should be able to drag it. It should fit perfectly right over it. You should be able to drag that and it'll be there. You can lock it in place, and that is how you get the limit. It should fit perfectly every single time. And then, okay, so back to the actual graphic that we're doing. You're going to add the Herbert or whoever you got in, and you want him to be in the center. It can be a little bit off if it needs to be, but if you want it to look the best as possible, you don't want that to happen. And then you don't want even the shadow, like on the edges, you don't want that to go out of line. You don't want anything to go off that because it will blend up, it will mess up the blend between the card graphic and the real card. So yeah, once you got into the place, you can lock it in place. And then now we'll be doing now we'll do the how to make like the gallery part of it, those pictures. And then to do that, you want to go back into Pinterest and just find 4 to 5 just great pictures of the person. So you want to search them back up and just download just great pictures on, just like this is a good picture. I would say that's a good picture. This could be a good picture if you want. But I'm gonna skip this, like getting all the pictures, because I really don't want this video to be over 20 minutes. So I'm gonna come back with all the pictures. Okay, now that I have all the pictures found on saved to my phone and everything, I'm just gonna turn the visibility off for all 3 of those things that you have right now. You're gonna go to click that background, click color. And you're gonna go here on the color wheel thing, and you're gonna click that green. And then once you have that, you're gonna go to shape, and then the square rectangle thing, make it a little bit smaller to make that the rectangle, and make that pretty big, like, and put it in the center as well. Now you're gonna go back to shape, make a regular rectangle, choose the color by that green screen background, make it to a line, and then put that in the middle of. Oh, so before you do that, so you just saw how like the square moved. You don't want that, so you're gonna lock that square in place so it doesn't move again. And then go back to the line and put it in the middle, and extend it. Yeah, extend it all the way off to the edges. This basically just splits the thing in half. And you're gonna lock that line as well. So after you put anything in, you should lock it right away. And then so I have all the images found right here. Just gonna add them in by one. And then if you like, so you see how like that thing says Pro Football Focus there. If you don't want that, right, you can go to crop, click square, and then just crop it down, and use like the grid lines to put the dude in the center of the image. I'm just gonna put that here. If you want, you should put the layer like the picture behind the line, so it makes it easier just for everything. It makes it a lot easier. I'm just gonna size it up and use like those same purple lines again to fit it properly, and then make sure to lock it. And then another picture, we'll add this one in for the next one. This one's not like a square, but there's a lot of extra room here that we don't need. So you're gonna crop that down as well, getting the Herbert or whoever you got in the center, and then bring it below the line, size it up, and also just for this one, we're gonna make it look better. We're gonna put it behind that Herbert picture, or maybe not. We might bring it forward, and yeah, we're gonna bring it back forward on top of it. Okay, and then the next picture we got, we'll put this one in, and we're gonna make this a square again. So we're just gonna zoom in, uh, there. That's good. Below the line, lock the other picture as well. I forgot to do that, and just size it up. Use the purple lines to put them in the right spot. Lock it, and then if you got extra pictures, like yeah, I got an extra picture, but it's fine. You can put 5 to 4, doesn't really matter. Crop that. Um, so this is gonna be like an awkward amount, cause actually, let's see. We can bring that down a little bit there, and yeah, that's good. Okay, so then once you get all the pictures in place, you're gonna click on that green line, click on it again, duplicate it, and then you're gonna make it horizontal, and then put it in between the lines between each separate picture. And you're gonna do that for all the amount of separations you got. Okay, but if you had 5 pictures, like I got a 5th picture, you could always just put something in here, just like make one of them smaller and this one in somewhere in there. And once you got this, you're gonna save that and close the app to skip the ad. And then you're gonna go to the next app that we're going to need is photo layers. This is probably like the best manual way to get rid of backgrounds ever, like ever made. And you're gonna open up that image, and you're gonna go click that scissors thing, and then to auto undo whatever it does, and you're just gonna go on that green, and then move the threshold to wherever you want it, but do it to a place high enough where it doesn't get rid of any of the main pictures, but gets rid of all the green screen things. Sometimes it doesn't always do like as good a job as it does right now, and leaves a little bit of extra green in, and you can go back in, lower that threshold, and take out whatever green you need that it left over. But once you're done with it, you're going to click save, and then save PNG transparent, and also close the app again to skip that. Then you're going to open up PicsArt back again. You can turn the visibility off for all of this stuff. You won't need the green anymore, so you can clear that. And you're gonna go back to pictures, open up the thing you just removed the background for, and then yeah, just size it up a little bit. And then for this, now you're gonna go to shape, click that square again, and bring it down to like basically another line, but it's like a header. And you're gonna put it in the center of the thing and extend it a little bit so it covers like. Try to go from I go with like shoulder to shoulder of the 2 top pictures. You can make it a little bit wider as well. But yeah, once you have that, you're gonna click on it, go to color, and then from using this thing, you're just gonna click on the color of the jersey and whichever one you want. Yes, that's actually probably the best one. And then you're gonna go to text, and for this, we just put the team name. I mean, you can put anything here. Really, it doesn't matter what text you put in, but definitely something related to the graphic. I usually just go with the team name. You go to Chargers, right? Put it in the center like always. And you can go to, oh yeah, I made it all caps. By doing that, to do that, you go to format and then click that both capital A's. Then you go spacing and like increase the spacing between them. That looks better. And you can also make them thicker. And to make it blend in with like the background, you can turn the visibly back on of the background. Click on that chargers, go to color, and go back to this eyedropper thing and just pick out like where it's usually going to be. It's like right there, and see how that makes it blend. And also you can save that color by just clicking on the color wheel thing and just clicking on a box, and you can also just hold down on that box and it gets rid of the color. I actually had a lot of colors here, but the app just reset by itself and took out all my colors, which was really annoying, and also got rid of my other stuff, and so that was just really annoying. But anyway, right, so that's how you get that color on there. And so that's it. That's all you gotta do for this panel thing. So you can save that. Saving it just makes it easier overall. You delete the, close out the app, open up PicsArt again. And so now we're gonna be doing the step where to make it tilted and like the perspective shift. So you just turn the visibility off for everything else. Go to add photo, bring the picture, the gallery you made back in and make it small all the way on the left hand side. And then you're going to go to tools, crop, perspective. And then so this side, so this gallery side is on the right hand side. So you're going to want it to shift off to the left, I guess, or to the right, right? And you're just going to bring it all the way to the end. And then you're just going to adjust the sizing of the thing. You want it to be as most zoomed in as possible, but also not cropping off anything, right? And so you just click apply. Once you're done with that, download that. And so now we're really done with the right hand side of the graphic. Just gonna click undo one time, and then you can turn the visibility off for that. And so now the next step we're going to be doing is like, can I find an example? This thing right here. We're going to be making the nameplate of the graphic. To do that, you're going to turn the visibility back on of that bar you made, right, with the team name. You're going to make a vertical, put it in somewhere in here, but like in the center, center vertically, or not, horizontally, yeah, the horizontal center. And you're just going to increase the length of it, right? And then you're going to write the dude's name. So write Justin. You're going to make that vertical as well. Put that in there. Make the color white. And you can also make it all caps because everything just looks better in all caps for graphics at least, right? And you can increase the width of it. You can mess around with this as much as you want. You need it to be in the center as well in this. Really, like I don't have exact measurements of like how thick and stuff to make all this, like the length and stuff like that. So it's just really just based on what you like. Just do it until it looks right. And then once you go with all the sizing stuff, you're going to duplicate that line again. And then put in the center of everything so it's all balanced out. And make the spacing. It won't like show you the spacing. You're just going to have to eyeball it and make it look good. So then once you're done with that, you're going to go back to text and put his last name in. So Herbert, right? Make the color the same color of the background, so that iconic color, right? Go to format, all caps, size it down. You're just going to fit it somewhere in here in any of the text letters. I usually just go here. It always looks really cool when you do it like this. Increase the width and stuff. You can also increase the spacing so it's more eligible, right? I should probably tell you my bad. I should tell you like what font I'm using. I always use the font Orbitron, not always, but most of the time, right? Orbitron. That's my favorite font probably on PixArt. And then this is a little bit big, so I'm just gonna make that a little bit smaller there. And yeah, okay. And now we're gonna be like putting the signature in there. So go back to Google and you're gonna search up Justin Herbert's signature. And it's taking its time to load apparently. And you're gonna go to images and you're just gonna find an image of his signature and just take a screenshot of it and crop that down. If you want the signature to be like the most clear, good quality, I mean, all the pictures should be like really high quality. You don't want anything in bad quality, obviously, but you don't want anything else to like be inside the picture. So then once you took the screenshot of it, you can go back into photo room and remove the background of the signature and click start photo, right? Click on the photo and remove the background pretty quickly or not. Yeah, okay. Maybe it's because my phone's low on battery. I don't know. Okay, there we go. Click on that transparent thing and export. It doesn't really matter what the color is right now. We were going to change that in PixArt. Once it's saved, go back to PixArt. And I don't like how thick these lines are, so I'm going to change them first. So yeah, you can always just adjust the thing, go back and adjust it. Even like with that center picture that we got, if you don't like it afterwards, you can just go back and adjust it. Nothing's like set in place. You always want to improve it. Never, unless it's like actually really good, then you don't want to improve it. Then usually you just end up making it worse. You're gonna add the signature in. You're gonna make it vertical as well. And for like this J, it's just make that thing smaller and make it like that. And then to make the color white, you're gonna go to Effects, Colors, and Color Gradients, and make color 1 and 2 both white, right? And then click Apply. And so you rotate like your phone actually like vertically, so it's easier to do. And you're just gonna put it in there, make sure it's vertical or centered with everything else, right? Okay. Now once you like got that, you like it, everything's good. Once you got that, you're just gonna click that save button again, and that's how you save it. And you close the app again to get rid of that ad because we don't like ads. And well, normally it reopens the thing, but I guess not here. And you're just gonna open up that project. Yeah. Take its time to load, I guess. And then you can turn the visibility off. Or you can just delete everything now because it's like going to reach its limit soon probably on how much stuff it can hold in one project. So just delete all this stuff because you won't need them anymore. Yeah. So as you can see here, this graphic does take a really long time to make, which is why, I mean, a lot of people ask me to make this and I just don't reply to them. Well, half the time I don't reply to them, which I mean, I feel bad about it, but I can't really do anything. I try my best. And you're gonna make this thing not that big because then it's gonna like crop off when you do the perspective shift. Right, put it on the left to all the way to the right. Go to crop, perspective, and bring it all the way to the max. And I mean this is already perfect. Zoom in a little bit. Right, and click apply, and then download that. Close it. Okay. So now we're done with like all like the making of all the parts. Now we're just gonna be okay. So now you click undo. You can delete it. Now we're going to be actually putting all three of the parts together. You do that by go to add photos, click on both of the perspectively shift images, and then you're gonna move the Herbert or whatever player you got above them, and you're just gonna size it up, center it, whatever. Sometimes it always won't be in the center. If not, it's honestly fine for this. And yeah, once you got it there, this part takes a while. You just have to just mess around with this. You won't get it your first try. You just got to mess around with how it looks. It does take a while to get this all right and for it to look the best. Now that I think about it, I should have made this like the name plate a little bit thicker overall, but I'll make it work, right? Um, yeah, okay, so I'll just skip this. I'll just show you like what you guys need to do after this. Once you get them all in place, you're gonna go to shadow, position, you're gonna put them directly over it, and then you're gonna bring the vertical down just a little bit at like 1, and then the horizontal at like -2, right? And you can bring the opacity down to 50-ish. Honestly, I don't have exact numbers for this either. I just do whatever looks best for each separate graphic. So also just mess around with this. And you're gonna go do the same thing on the other side, right? Uh, make them both 0, 0, and then bring the horizontal that and bring it down a little bit. And you can bring that a little bit down. It's really just however you feel like it. Okay, so that's basically it, right? Um, I really should have made this Justin thing a little bit thicker. If you want to go back and like change the center picture, like the Herbert picture I got here, you can go back and change it to where if you find like another picture that you like. Um, what other things do I need to talk about? Where's I can talk about how adding the helmet in on like the floor, I guess. Um, yeah, I'll do a little tutorial on adding like the helmet in. So you're just gonna go back to Google, and for this, just search up chargers helmet. It's just that, nothing else. Go to images and find something that's good like that. Hold down on it and save it to photos. We go back into photo room. So as you can see, right, the photo room's like one of the most useful apps. Have everything load. Go start from photo. Click the helmet. All that fun stuff. Alright, we've done this like 3 times now, so I don't really gotta talk about all this. And add photo. Do the helmet. Put it behind the Herbert. Oh, make sure to lock all these in place, right? Forgot to do that. And then you can either put it here, right, or here. Either one looks good, but I'm just gonna put it here. You're gonna do that, and then go to effects and just do HDR1, just because. And then you're gonna go to not that. You're gonna go to stickers. You're gonna search up shadow, right? I already have this saved in, so I'm just gonna put it in. But you just search up shadow to get that bottom picture and change the size of this. You don't want it to be too big since it's not like the main part of the graphic. You don't want it to stand out too much. And you also don't want it to take up too much room. Just keep on messing around with the sizes of everything really until you get something that you like and looks good in your eye. And yeah, just keep on moving it around until it's perfect. Yeah. Oh yeah, and then this Herbert is like really dark, so we're just gonna duplicate that and put it directly over it to turn the visibility off of the bottom one. Erase the shadow of it. Oh yeah, I did that really fast, so I'm just gonna do that again. You're gonna click on this top ribbon, this like bar with like it looks like an eraser. You're gonna click that eraser, and then it's automatically going to put you on the eraser thing. Just gonna click that again to get rid of that toolbar, and you're just gonna get rid of this shadow really quickly. Right, do all this fun stuff, all this there. You can turn the visibility back on, doesn't really matter. And you're gonna go to adjustments, bring the brightness, just mess around with all these sliders. Once again, no exact numbers on what looks best. Um, yeah, just mess around, just slide them back and forth a bunch until your eye like looks something good. And then I think I actually messed up the alignment of it, but yeah, there. And so once you're done with that, on the picture without the shadow, you're gonna go to, well, without like the ground shadow, you're gonna go back into shadow and put the position to 0, 0, and then make that color of it white. You're going to decrease the blur and then decrease the opacity below the blur. Make sure it's below the blur. And just put it somewhere. Once again, no exact numbers for this. Put it at somewhere that just looks good. Okay. I think that's actually basically just it. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, some final thoughts I would have to say is really just this nameplate. I probably should have done that better. This was like my first time doing this graphic, right? Usually, for most tutorials, I've done the graphic before, and so I already know what to do and like what looks best. But I should have made this like the thickness of the nameplate wider because it just looks too skinny. So yeah, make sure to make that adjustment when you guys do yours. Also this like dark blue and the pink kind of blend kind of too much together. So maybe like go with a light blue. Dark blue and red I've seen like don't work that well. And then yeah, that's maybe like I should have made the signature a lot bigger. There's a lot of empty space here. You don't really want to leave empty space left over. You want to really use all the space you can up. So yeah, I should have made. I'll probably go back and make those adjustments later, further down the line. But for now, yeah, I'm just gonna point them out to you on what I should have done. Okay, and one more thing to add is you can see how in these styles, these three here, the LeBron, Bobby, and Mahomes, it's like a nameplate and the gallery. But if you want to, you can also switch it to having like two galleries, so they are both on both sides. You can, which also like looks really cool, and that's like a replacement of the name. And then also like these two are like both jersey tears. That's like a whole nother thing that I'm not gonna add in this video because it's already 30 minutes long, and that would take even probably like another 30 minutes to explain. But yeah, but you can see how Kittle did this. Like this was made by Kittle the GOAT. He did like the logo at both sides and like the helmet, which just looks really cool. And I took his idea for that on the neighbors. But yeah, that's just another thing you guys can add on to it is having like galleries on both sides just for more pictures if you don't like the nameplate or you just want to switch it up and you don't want to keep it the same. But anyway, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and subscribe, like, and comment, whatever. Ask questions. Feel free to ask questions whenever you want. And yeah, thank you.